Have you ever wanted to command a trio of phantom demons that behold incredible power and unleash ultimate devastation in their chaotic conquest towards ruin? Well, these twisted phantasms are the counterpart of the Egyptian gods and demand destructive authority when they appear in battle, infamously known as the sacred beasts. There's Yugioh, Lord of Searing Flames. Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder. And Yugioh, Lord of Phantasm. These beasts are powerful in their own right, but when they need more power, they fuse into the almighty Armityle, the Chaos Phantasm. Now, let's show you how we brutalize opponents with these horrific monsters. It's time to unleash fear, break hell loose, and massacre opponents using this menacing Sacred Beasts deck. Hey everybody, Reaper here, and today I'm showcasing a mighty Sacred Beasts deck that I created from the ground up. This deck is overpowering opponents and threatening the board. Let's hop into some duels and I'll show you how to confidently slay your opponents with the power of the Phantasms. Alright, up against our first opponent here. Hey, you got the Karibo. Alright, so for Sacred Beasts, you can go either first or second, but I'm gonna go ahead and go first this time. Hey. Okay. Right on in here. Hey, check out the nightlife we got going on, huh? Alright. Not too bad actually of a hand. So we have our standard floodgates here. I'm gonna go ahead and set the floodgates. I'm gonna play 1 for 1. We are gonna lose our Ash here, but that's fine. What are you doing there, Chief? Oh. Interesting, okay. Got plays. So he's playing fairies, alright. End her turn there. So on its own, the Sacred Beast archetype is pretty good, but the issue that it has is that it can very easily be overpowered by meta decks. So that's why we run these types of cards like Skill Drain and Rivalry of the Warlords. We're also going to play the Rivalry of the Warlords right now. And try to get as much construction as possible with this guy's deck. Awesome. Alright, let's draw. Hey, Ravio's here to play. Alright, perfect. Alright, so let's play Chaos Summoning Beast. There he is. What are you thinking so hard about? What are you doing here, sir? What? Huh? Oh, okay. Cool. So let's activate our card. Gonna have us special summon Raviel. There he is. And now we could go ahead and banish our Chaos Summoning Beast. This lets us add the field spell to the hand. So the field spell, a really good card. It actually protects our Raviel. Oh, that's a scoop, baby. Alright, up against Dev, the boy. Oh no, we lost the coin toss. That's a cool icon though, I like that. Okay, guess we're not playing. Alright, up against Maddie23 over here with the Blue Eyes logo and oh, let's go first. Yeah. And his striking spear mate. Okay, we can bring out a Hamon right off the bat there. Love to see that. We also have opening of the spirit gates over here. So let's run opening of the spirit gates. Start off with one of those. Oh, that Ash. Nice, we baited that out. Actually quite okay. Because now we can play Chaos Summoning Beast. Rock his effect. Bring out Hamon. There's our beautiful boy. We're going to go ahead and use Chaos Summoning Beast's effect in the grave. We're going to banish him. Add that beautiful healed spell to the hand. And we're going to use his effect. Draw 2 right there. Now, we can be greedy and play Allure of Darkness. We could not. So, honestly, let's set one. Let's hope he hits it. And let's end our turn there. Hey, this guy is looking sick. Alright, Maddie, give us your best, buddy. Show us the works. Oh, yeah, it's evenly matched. Oh, brother, that's no bueno. Not good, y'all. Oh, brother, that's not good. Alright, Allure of Darkness is going away. Opening of Spirit Gates is going away. And Fallen Paradise has to go away. Keep him on there. That's a 4K beat stick after all. He is playing Blue Eyes. Okay. Well, we don't really have much of a choice there, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you a Blue Eyes. You're more than likely gonna bring out alternative Blue Eyes White Dragon, I'm assuming? Or maybe a Jet Dragon? I'm not sure. The White Stone of Legend. And draw. Ooh, Foolish Fury. Love to see it. Alright, so let's go ahead and use Foolish Burial. Yeah, that's the move. Foolish Burial here. And we're going to go ahead and pitch a Chaos Summoning Beast. I really want that field spell back. There it is, Fallen Paradise. Play it again. Use its effect to draw 2. Oh, we got Cerulean Skyfire. Great. So what this does, it actually lets us negate one spell or trap that our opponent plays. And it does this by putting our attack position Hamon into a defense position Hamon. Also, when a Hamon or like a Yuria or a Raviel leaves the field, we take no battle damage. And this will proc to allow us to take no damage. Alright, so we're going to play our opening of the Spirit Gates. And let's go ahead and add to our hand a Dark Beckoning Beast. Play Dark Beckoning Beast. We're going to use its effect. And to add to our hand, we're going to have to add that Chaos Summoning Beast, actually. Play that on the field. Normal summon it out. And use Chaos Summoning Beast to bring out Raviel over here. Perfect, there he is. Just like that. And we're going to go into Solomon Great. And there we go. Solomon Great's out. And that's probably all we want to do right now, actually. Yep. All we want to do with that. We're going to go ahead and go to the battle phase. We're going to battle with Hamon here. He's going to go away. Going to change my attack to 0. Press no there. Attack. 4K. Oh, he's mad. Oh, and he's gonna evenly matched us. Interesting. Gonna use Cerulean Skyfire. Negate that bad boy. Gonna go into defense here. Alright, man. Your turn. Evenly matched ain't a problem. Oh, Blue Eyes is going away into the grave. Where he wants him, actually. And the jet dragon's out. Sure, sure. Gonna proc his effect. We're gonna use our summon great. And we're actually gonna protect our Haman. And he ends his phase. Awesome. I'm going to use Fallen Paradise to draw 2. Oh, perfect. Tyrant's out. We're going to play Opening of the Spirit Gates again. And I'm going to add to my hand. Let's see here. Let us add a Raviel, Lord of Phantasms. This version, though. I'm going to tell you why this version is such a good version. Because as a quick effect where you can use them, target a Raviel, and he doubles his damage. Just like that, baby. So we're going to go ahead and attack with Hamon, actually. And Hamon has an effect where you take 1,000 damage. And he's going to bring out Jedis. Alright, take that. Nice, easy damage. So I'm going to go ahead and attack that, actually. I don't like that. He's going to return something to the hand. I know that. He's going to return Cerulean. Alright, I don't know why I did that. Because now I can just play it again. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and end our turn. The reason why Raviel was glowing there was because I can actually tribute another monster on the field to make him gain damage. But I kind of want to keep the Hamon there. Don't really want him to be tributed. Awesome. That lets us also use Raviel's other effect. Lets us special summon 1 token. And he's going to tribute that away for a relinquished anima. I'm going to use Tyrant's Temper. And I'm going to go ahead and actually, since he uses that, I need to do this. And that protects us from further damage, as well as him not being able to equip our Raviel. White Stone of Ancients, okay. If he wouldn't have played that relinquished anima there, I would have actually went and tributed the Phantasm token. But, you know, we don't want him to get 4k damage with that. That's fine. We can have him do that. And Blue Eyes Jet Dragon comes out. Ooh. Interesting. Oh my god, he pitched everything. What an interesting move. Alright, so we're gonna draw. And we got Skill Drain. Interesting. I love to see that. We don't need him back in the hands. Let's see here. What's in our graveyard that we could possibly use? Well, nothing really so far, actually. I think our best option here is just to attack. And he takes 1k damage from that. And there's the 1k. Alright, so I think we win this. Next turn we just pop our skill drain. And we're fine. So he's going to try to battle us. We're going to pop skill drain. Nothing should happen. Alright. And he loses. Alright, that's game, brother. Good stuff. Hey, get it. The pose. Look how proud she is. Alright folks, let's get started with the deck list. So before I begin, I just want to say that even though I didn't use most of these cards, I'm still going to teach you how to use every single one with the deck, so stay tuned. Alright, so first card on the list is Chaos Summoning Beast. So Chaos Summoning Beast is the main summoner in this deck. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have one of these in the hand and one of our 3 boss monsters. This can be Yugioh, Hamon, or Raviel. My personal suggestion is to go with a Hamon or a Raviel if you can search for them. You can bring this card to your hand pretty easily by using Dark Beckoning Beast and opening of the Spirit Gates, or even a Piri Reese map. Moving on, we play Max C, 2 of them. We also played 2 Ash Blossom, and we also played Dark Beckoning Beast. Dark Beckoning Beast is your starter because once you play him on the field, he actually lets you search for another card in the archetype, as well as allowing you to normal summon once more, which you're going to either use Chaos Summoning Beast for that, or you're going to use Dark Summoning Beast. Alright, let's talk about Dark Summoning Beast. So for Dark Summoning Beast, you can tribute this card, and then you can special summon one Yugioh, Hamon, or Raviel from our hand or deck, ignoring its summoning condition. The only downside is that we can't have a battle phase the turn that we use this. So it's usually better to go for a Chaos Summoning Beast if you have one of the boss monsters in hand already. Next up is the 3 main monsters in this deck, Yugioh, Hamon, and Raviel. So the main 2 that you want to go for is Raviel and Hamon, because these are your fighters, your beatsticks, because they're both 4k damage. Yugioh is here mainly for the fusion summon of the extra deck monster. We don't really play him, we keep him in hand. This is because he gains 1000 attack for each continuous trap in the graveyard, which doesn't come up that often. Next up, we play a Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, Shimmering Scraper. We play this because this can actually double our monster's attack. It would be Raviel that he doubles specifically. So this could turn our Raviel from a 4k beatstick to an 8k beatstick, or Raviel could use his ability and tribute either a Hamon or a Yugioh and gain its attack, and then you could use Shimmering Scraper to double that attack. So let's talk about the boss monsters a little more. Each boss monster has its own effect. So let's start with Yugioh. Once per turn, we can target one set spell or trap our opponent controls and destroy it. Then neither player can activate spells or traps in response to this effect. It comes up sometimes, so that's the only time I'd really bring out Yugioh, because he'd be at 0 attack most of the time. So for Hamon, whenever he destroys an opponent's monster by battle and it goes to the graveyard, we actually can inflict 1000 burn damage. And while this card is in face-up defense, monsters our opponent controls cannot target monsters for attack except for Hamon. And for Raviel, he can actually summon a Dark Phantasm token that has 1000 attack and defense for every normal summon that our opponent does, as well as he can tribute one monster and gain attack equal to that tributed monster's original attack until the end of the turn. Next, we play a Harpy's Feather Duster to deal with back row. We play Foolish Burial when we want to send our Chaos Summoning Beast into the graveyard, or a Dark Summoning Beast. The reason why you'd want to use this with those 2 is because of their effect in the graveyard. So what Chaos Summoning Beast does in the graveyard is you can banish him from the graveyard and add to our hand the field spell, whereas Dark Summoning Beast, when you banish it, allows us to add a boss monster from deck to hand. Next, we play Allure of Darkness, 3 of those. This is just so we can get extra draw. Next, we play 1 for 1. This is again to bring out one of our level 1 monsters. Next up is Dimension Fusion Destruction. This is our fusion spell. So what this does is it would use Hamon, Yugioh, and Raviel to make Armatile the Chaos Phantasm, Phantom of Fury. What this does is when it's on our field, we can give control to our opponent, and at the end of the turn, it actually banishes all of our opponent's field and it returns to our control. And when it comes back to our control, it actually goes to the graveyard and summons Armatile the Chaos Phantasm. And what this card does is that it actually cannot be destroyed by battle and gains 10,000 attack during our turn only. This is a great way to clear our opponent's board, as well as have a 10k beatstick on the field. And keep in mind, since it is the end of the turn, we can put this card into defense position if needed. Next, we play Pot of Prosperity. This is again for draw advantage and to bring out the right cards to our hand. Next, we play Piri Rees map. This is to add one monster with 0 attack from our deck to our hand. This is great because all of our monsters that are low leveled are actually 0 attack, but the cost is we have to pay half our life points, which seems like a lot, but with this deck, you can gain your life points back very easily. Next, we play Fallen Paradise, which is the field spell. We play 2 of these. This card is like a pot of greed. So when we have one of our boss monsters out, we can actually use its effect once per turn to draw 2 cards from the deck, as well as this actually makes our boss monsters untargetable, which really helps because our opponents can't target them for any card effects or destruction. Next, we play Cerulean Skyfire. This actually goes hand in hand with Hamon. This card is the archetype's negate. So what this card does is when a Hamon is out on the field, we can actually change that Hamon into defense position, and then we negate that spell or trap. The other effect that this card has is one of our 3 boss monsters gets destroyed and leaves the field, either through card effect or back into the hand. This actually triggers and prevents us from taking any damage that turn. Next, we play Opening of the Spirit Gates. When this card is activated, we can add 1 monster from the archetype from deck to hand, and once per turn, we can discard 1 card and then special summon one of our 0 attack fiend monsters from the graveyard. And if we control a level 10 monster, you can add 1 continuous spell from graveyard to hand. You can only activate 1 of these cards per turn. Next, we have Called by the Grave. This card is another utility card to negate our opponent in the graveyard. And we have a few floodgates here that we're playing. We're playing Rivalry of the Warlords, where each player can only control 1 type of monster. And we send all other face-up monsters to the graveyard. And we play Skill Drain, where we can activate this by paying 1,000 life points and negate the effects of all face-up monsters on the field. But we're actually excluded from these 2 effects because we play Tyrant's Temper. So what this card does is we tribute 1 monster to activate its effect, and all face-up monsters on the field that we own are unaffected by other traps. So this would make us unaffected to Skill Drain and Rivalry of the Warlords. Next, we play Awakening of the Sacred Beasts. What this card does is, based on the amount of boss monsters we have out, it gives us different effects. So these all stack, so it's best if you bring out 3, so that way you can have all 3 stacks. So when we have 1 boss monster out, each time our opponent normal or special summons a monster, we gain life points equal to its attack. The next one is when we have 2 of the boss monsters out, we can negate the activated effects of monsters our opponent controls. And the third one is any monsters that are sent to our opponent's graveyard are banished instead. And if we control a level 10 monster, we can add 1 continuous trap from our graveyard to our hand. So if our opponent tries to destroy Skill Drain or Rivalry, we can add it right back using this trap and one of our boss monsters being on the field. Now let's move on to the extra deck. So with the extra deck, we play Phantasm Emperor Trilojig. So when this card is special summoned, or if another monster is special summoned from the graveyard to our field while we control this monster, we can actually target 1 face-up monster our opponent controls and inflict damage to our opponent equal to half its original attack. This card is great when our opponent has a high attack monster and we have set up an Opening of the Spirit Gates and one of our low levels in the graveyard, because we can use Spirit Gates to special summon it onto the field, proccing his effect, and we can target that high attack monster for some burn damage. Next up is our Xyz monsters. So a lot of these Xyz monsters right here are actually for 2 level 2 monsters. This is because sometimes you do get stuck with the level 2 monsters being out, which is fine because you can play a Dark Beckoning Beast and a Max C if you wanted, and you could make one of these cards. So what each one does, they have different effects, but they're very useful effects. So with Herald of Pure Light, we can detach 1 material and target 1 monster in our graveyard. Then we add it right back to our hand. Then we have to shuffle 1 card from our hand into the deck. This is great because we can recycle our boss monsters if they are in the graveyard. Next, we play number 65, the Djinn Buster. This is 2 level 2 dark monsters, so it would have to be 2 Dark Beckoning Beasts. But again, we can play one of them and then just special summon the other one out with Opening of the Spirit Gates. So what this card does is when our opponent activates a monster effect, we detach 2 materials and negate the activation, and then we inflict 500 burn damage to the opponent. Next, we play Sky Cavalry Centauria. This just requires 2 level 2 monsters and it can't be destroyed by battle while we have material. Then at the end of the battle step, if this card did battle an opponent's monster, we can detach 1 material from it and return it back to the opponent's hand. Next, we play number 45. So this requires 2+ level 2 monsters, and what it does is once per turn, we can detach one material, then target one other face-up card on the field. While this monster is face-up on the field, that target's effects are negated, and while that target is on the field, cards with that same name of that target are also negated. This is a really great card just to completely shut out one card in your opponent's deck. It's very niche, but sometimes it does come into play, and also has 2200 attack. And lastly, for the level 2s, we have the Phantom Knights of Cursed Javelin. What this does is we can detach one material from the card, then target one face-up monster our opponent controls. Then, until the end of the turn, its attack is 0, and its effects are negated. Next, we play Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. So this requires 2 level 10 monsters, so it can be any of our 3 boss monsters, and what it does is we can detach one material per turn and inflict 2000 damage to our opponent. This is great for finishing off the opponent if he just has 2000 life points left. Next, we play Sky Palace Gengaridai. What this does is we can detach one material from the card, then target one card our opponent's controls, and we can destroy that target. And then we inflict 1000 damage to the opponent as well. This is once per turn, and it cannot attack the turn it uses this effect. Next, we play our number 35. This again requires 2 level 10 monsters, and all monsters we control gain attack and defense equal to the difference between our life points and our opponent. While this card has Exceeds material, each time our opponent special summons a monster, we inflict 600 damage to our opponent. Then we can detach one material from this card and destroy all face-up monsters our opponent controls with attack less than or equal to this card. This is a great card to play very late game because we have a lot of life points already built up with our Awakening of the Sacred Beast strap. Next, we have Zeus. Zeus is a great card to play because once we go into our Exceeds monsters, we can actually go into Zeus in our main phase 2 because his effect reads that if we Exceeds summoned a monster this turn, we can go into Zeus by using one Exceeds monsters we control as material, and their materials are transferred to Zeus. This is a great card because it actually wipes the board if we ever did need it. And lastly, we play Solomon Great Almirage. We play this because we want to get rid of the low-leveled monsters on the field that are left over from our play, as well as this card having a nifty quick effect where we contribute it and then target one monster we control, and it can't be destroyed by our opponent's card effects this turn. So this is a great card to have, especially when we can't have our field spell out right away. And finally, thank you for making it this far into the video. If you found my content helpful, entertaining, or valuable, then I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing for upcoming content just like this one. And that's it. Peace.